So, clearly, I'm not the biggest fan of early access games. I mean, early access, EA, like, hello? Personally, I just could never understand paying for an unfinished game. I get that it's to support the developers if they have a solid foundation and there's potential in the initial product, but even the games themselves never appealed to me. I mean, just mention Rust to me and I'm sitting there in disgust. Gather all these materials and shit just to get griefed by some asshole and lose all my progress, and then have to start all the way over again? No thanks. And that goes for any of these early access survival games that are in the same vein. Ark, Survival Evolved, DayZ, you name it. Not to mention the performance issues that usually plague the hell out of games like these, to the point that it's in some cases straight up unplayable. I get that early access means that you're essentially playing a beta/alpha version of the game, but I mean, damn, you'd think the developers of some of these EA games would make it so that you're not smashing your head against the keyboard just to play the damn thing. Honestly, this is an accurate depiction of what I thought of early access games before Valheim. So when I heard of Valheim, I was like, oh, here we go again. Another one of these early access survival games that people are eating up for some weird ass reason. I decided to give it a shot myself, as I genuinely wanted to see if Valheim was any different. And guys, I'm actually incredibly surprised. This game feels like a finished product. For the first time ever for an early access game, these guys deserve your money because what they've put together here for $20 is truly incredible. Let me get down to brass tacks. Valheim doesn't necessarily do anything revolutionary. You're still playing your typical survival game. You'll be chopping down trees, gathering materials, leveling skills, crafting weapons and armor, so on and so forth. You can find these in any other early access game. What makes Valheim so special? Well, I think this can vary from person to person. First of all, Valheim takes what all these other early access survival games do and makes them exponentially better. Just look at how this tree falls after I chop it down and rolls along the terrain. You can even get hurt by falling trees too, so you have to be wary of where it falls. I know that sounds like such a small thing and like it's not a big deal, but it goes to show you how much care they actually took when developing Valheim. I have absolutely zero performance issues with the game. Sure, there's the occasional stutter, but at least there are no game-breaking bugs or glitches that I experienced while playing. The graphics might not be everyone's cup of tea, they got that PS1 style going for them, but honestly, I much prefer a stable experience, and in my opinion, I think the game looks absolutely gorgeous because of the PS1-esque art style. That's just me though. This might be weird to other people as well, but I absolutely loved the fact that I could create a single-player world and play by myself with absolutely no one else starting out. But you can do that in other survival games. Okay, listen, alright? Later, a friend wanted to join in on the fun with me in my world. I was like, okay, cool. We'll probably have to join a server together of some sort, and I'll have to start all over and say goodbye to this character that I've spent a day on playing. Oh, how wrong I was. Come to find out, my friend could join in on my single-player world that I started by myself. We had a sleepover in my hut, I got him up to speed with weapons and armor, and it was literally that easy. Then, a third friend joined, and so on and so forth, and I didn't have to lose any progress whatsoever. Not only that, my friends could also use the character they had used in my world in their own respective worlds. So no matter how you decide to play the game, with friends or alone, you'll always be making progress, no matter what. I have to stress how big of a deal that was for me. One of the biggest reasons I could never get into these survival games was the stress of losing all of my stuff because of another player's whim, or just straight up dying and having my stuff stolen. Now, I can choose the people I want to play with and do what's most important in any video game: having fun. Now, I do want to stress that there are no public servers at the moment. So, if you want to play Valheim and have fun with like a bunch of different people that you don't know, then it's not possible right now. So if you're buying Valheim for that reason, then shy away. Again, it's early access, but what's here is incredible. Now, enough about that. Let's talk a bit more about some of the goals you'll be working toward in Valheim. What will you actually be doing, right? So outside of all the crafting and building that you can do, your main goal will be fighting the 4 bosses of the game. Valheim has a strong connection to Norse mythology. You play as a Viking after all. And the first boss in the game, spoiler warning, is a freaking electric deer. Fighting this thing was awesome. I had to time my dodges, block accordingly, the whole 9 yards. I can't wait to see more of the bosses, as at the time of this review, I've only been able to fight the first boss out of like the 15 hours I've been playing. Outside of that, I've just been prepping myself for the next fight because like I said, these boss encounters can be really tough. As tough as the world of Valheim can be though, this bird right here does a great job of helping guide you along and progress in the world of Valheim. He's like the owl from Ocarina of Time, but less annoying. Like, god damn dude, I said no! Ah! There's no hand-holding though. The game doesn't really tell you all that much, but does just enough to push you along in the right direction as long as you're willing to experiment. There are also dungeons you can explore where you can find valuable items and cores to craft better stuff, but I will be honest about this, I thought they were a bit underwhelming. Finding them was exciting, because you do have to actively explore to find anything in this game. The whole map is clouded by fog at the start, but the more you go out and explore, the more the map clears up, which I thought was a really cool mechanic. Nothing groundbreaking here, but definitely encourages you to get out there and find things on your own. Getting back to the dungeons themselves though, they do end up being these procedurally generated hallways that are more or less the same each time you enter them. Again, it's not the biggest deal because of how rewarding the exploration is otherwise, and there's plenty of other stuff you can focus on in Valheim. For example, just on my way to the dungeon in the Black Forest, there was this big ass troll that shook the entire forest with each step, and I was like, holy shit, before he smashed me into Viking bits. Then I came back with a couple buddies and a shoddy bow, and whew, oh, it was a dangerous battle. We lost one of our friends, but toppled the fell beast. Then we made armor out of his hide. Like, this is some Monster Hunter type shit, guys. You know I live for this stuff. There's a whole farming system that you can focus on if you just want to live that farmer life. You can tame boars and breed them, or go fishing, or just build something of truly epic proportions. Or if you're more like me and love adventure, you can go dungeon crawling and focus on crafting better weapons and armor. You can be a miner. There's just so much to do. You can go sailing and explore other areas, and the sailing is so fun to experience. Waves crash against the boat, threatening to capsize you, so you gotta hold fast, and then serpents can randomly start chasing you and try to break your boat like a twig, so I had to grab my bow and start Legolasing his ass, just shooting it to fend it off. Dude, it's chasing! Dude, give me your arrows! Give me your arrows! Oh! Just navigate, I'm shooting it.
Oh my god!
You got any better arrows than this? Fuck! The game does a great job of getting you immersed in whatever you're doing. I would play for hours without even realizing it. And again, if the adventurer life isn't for you, then Valheim can still be your game. My friend Nick, he isn't the adventurer type, so literally, I'm not even kidding, all he did was sit there and build houses the entire time. Me and my other buddy just went and did adventuring stuff. We'd come back and he'd build like a fort. It was hilarious. Any type of player can enjoy Valheim. I honestly think this is one of the most accessible survival crafting games I've ever played, and all this for $20. And it's not even a finished game. That's what keeps blowing my mind. I can't even believe this game is early access. Anyway guys, trust me, I wouldn't praise a game if I didn't like it. I'm one of the hardest guys to please when it comes to video games nowadays. Look at my channel, guys. Look at my channel and see how much I shit on recent releases. Okay. I hope that's enough to convince you to pick up this game and give it a chance, because the developers definitely deserve it. Regardless, let me know what you all think of Valheim down in the comments below. Have I convinced you to play it for yourselves, or is it a wait and see kind of thing? As always guys, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, or you ain't dining in Valhalla with the rest of us.